Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm so happy to have you. So my previous subscribers, welcome back to the channel. So for today's video in particular, we're going to be talking about Elon and 45, find out what the relationship is, what is going to be expected, what are we going to be getting the energies of towards the future. I don't know exactly what we're going to be experiencing in today's video, but I am ecstatic about what we're going to find out today. Now, if you have not watched my two other previous videos, I talked about 45 versus Hitler, what Hitler thought on 45. We talked about 45 versus Putin. Both very interesting readings. So if you have not gone and checked those videos out, recommend you go and do so. This video is being recorded on none other than Friday, April 4th at 1:05 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, as of when I am recording this specific video. This video is just for entertainment purposes only and for educational purposes only as well. I'm not legally liable for anything I do or say outside of this video. Now, with that being said, if you want to help out the channel grow, you can do so by liking, commenting, subscribing, hitting the bell icon, engaging with the content is some formality, help it grow, and really just be able to just expand the channel from where we are currently. Now, if you have been noticing that YouTube is not engaging with notifying you when I do post and upload, no problem, I have a solution. Go into the comment section below or the description, follow my Blue Sky account or my Facebook group, and I will personally notify you there as well. Now, obviously, you all see what's going on with the economy and the stock market, etc. I've been preparing you guys to be up with me for quite some time. I've been preparing you guys mentally for what's going to take place. We're about very close there. So I have told you many times that I myself am a gardener, and when the time is ready, I'm going to be prepared and able to help you guys out and be able to get you guys to become more self-dependent on yourself rather than on those around you. So if you want to be able to learn more about how to garden and stuff like that, go into my Facebook group and follow. You can ask me any questions you have. There's going to be plenty of people there, I'm sure, who love to garden, and we'll be able to help each other out. Let's be a really good community. So if you really do like that, you want to engage in some formality, just do it. Just do it. Don't think about it, just do it. I guarantee you, you're going to like it. Alright, so without further ado, let's begin. Let's find out what's going on with Elon versus 45. Alright, Spirits and Angels, tell me about Elon versus 45. Give me the energy that represents Elon. Ooh, that's a lot of energy right here. Okay, so this is Elon's physical body, right? This is the card that represents Elon's physical body. These are the tiers that represent who Elon is emotionally and who he is spiritually and psychically, right? This is the physical. Then it goes to aura. And then it's the spiritual, the psychic body. And then here is the higher self, the best version of him. If there is a better version. Now let's take a look at 45. Give me 3 cards for 45. What is the energy between 45 for Elon? With him and Elon, what is for 45? What are the energies relating to 45 between him and Elon? Give me the energy here for 45. Okay. Give me 3 cards. Okay. This is the energy between 45 and Elon. This is the Chariot card reverse. The Chariot card reverse is symbolizing to me there's some sort of swiftness, but there's also a lack of planning in some way. There's a lack of planning here. Now, on the top of this card here, we have the 4 of Wands. Here, the 4 of Wands means the ending of something. Here's the Betrayal. Can't make this stuff up. And then here you have the Queen of Cups, the lack and inability to contain something. And because you're not able to contain something, we have here the Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords means mental. There's something here that's mental that cannot be contained. Whether that is words that are spoken, whether it is there's some sort of lack of containment here. Now, let's take a look at 45 and see who is 45 as a person when he's around Elon. Well, the first card that comes in for his physical body is represented as the Knight of Cups. The Knight of Cups is somebody who's walking in faith of the past, someone who is so dictated, so fixated on the past that he himself cannot see the present that's in front of him, cannot see what's in front of him. That is why the Knight of Cups is towards the whiteboard, because in that aspect it means going towards the past. There's a wall here, it's a solid thing. Whereas this side here, this open space, means the future because it's yet to be determined. It's open to become solidified. It has not yet solidified because it's known as the future. Now, this card comes here for his, what to call it? For his mental aspect, this is represented at the Seven of Swords here. I mean, there's a lot of fighting here. There's a lot of Alzheimer's. I'm getting energy that there's some sort of Alzheimer type momentum, but I also feel like he's fighting. There's like a tiger inside of him, and there's the good part and there's the bad part. And he's fighting with who he wants to be, who he wants to become. There's that dynamic of like this. There's a fight, there's a battle. And here you have the next card that also comes in from the past as well, what is represented by seeing things from a specific perspective, which is the Nine of Cups. Right? This is representing his spiritual barrier. This is his spiritual barrier, right? This is his aura, this is his spiritual barrier, this is the physical body, right? So his spiritual barrier is the Nine of Cups, which means seeing things from a certain lens, seeing things from a certain perspective, because you are now allowed to see what's in front of you because you're so low vibrational that you're not able to see other things that are outside of your vibration. Now, when you go into this higher self and you ask, okay, what is the best version of 45? Who is 45 as the soul, and you just destroy the physical body and everything else, and you just get to the raw nitbits of it? Who is 45 at the core? He is the magician. He is the manifestor. He is the creator. He's able to whip things up within a second. Whatever he says goes. Right? That is what he is. That is what he represents. That is his higher self. That is his power. That is his advantage. That is his ability. Now let's go ahead, let's take a look at Elon, let's see what's going on there. Elon, when his energy is compared to 45, is represented as something from the future. Something that's represents the past, but something from the past that represents the future, if you will. And this is representing the Six of Cups. Now the Six of Cups always means, when it's upright, it means that going backwards, going back to the past. When it's reversed, it means going forward, it means going to the future. This is upright, which means his body and his mindset and who he is as a person is stuck in the past in some way. It has to do with invention in the past, that people were able to invent things. And there were a lot of inventions that came around the 1900s, the early 1900s, 1890s, Edison light bulbs, all those type of things. He admires that. He wants to be like that. He wants to bring us back to the time period where he himself is the inventor. Now, the card that comes up on top, what is his aura, what is his energy? We have here the King of Pentacles. He is the man with a lot of money. I'm hearing the word Mansa Musa. He believes that he himself is the richest of them all. Mirror, mirror on the wall, I'm the richest of them all. Kind of like that type of energy. He feels very much like he is the one with the lot of wealth, that he can control whatever his heart desires. Even though he himself does not have the manifesto card, he himself can do things with his money. This is his aura. This is his outer rim outside the physical body, is wealth. The next card that comes in, what is his spiritual side? Well, we have here the Nine of Pentacles. That is ending. This is his wealth ending in the opposite direction. You have here his aura is saying, oh, I have this mindset, I have this goal, this idea. But what is the spiritual side saying? The spiritual side is saying that there's a Nine of Pentacles headed in the path, heading towards this whiteboard. What does that mean? It means essentially he is going to start losing wealth because his mindset is so stuck in a very specific way that he cannot see that he himself is costing himself money. Right? Money cannot buy everything. Right? What is his higher self? What is the best version of him? Ooh, the Death card. Change. But the change is going back to the path. Death, rebirth, transformation, ending of something, a new cycle. But he feels like, in a way, that he is just in repetitive, in circle. Like he just can't go. Once he reaches the ceiling, he reached that ceiling and he starts to go backwards. It almost feels like, in a way, you ever play the game, and once you complete the game, there's nothing else for you to do, so you end up going all the way back, restarting, and then start going back forward again. So what is Elon? What is his higher self? What is his purpose? What is his advantage? Is he starts from nothing, goes to become something, then becomes something, and goes back to being nothing. That is his story. That is his soul. That is his agreement on a spiritual likeness. Is that Elon is supposed to hit his ceiling. Once he hits his ceiling, that's it. He's going down. He goes all the way up, then he goes all the way down, like a roller coaster, up and down, up and down. That's kind of like how Elon is in terms of his energy. Now, when you compare the two together and you really kind of put the energy of 45 and who he is, and Elon and who he is, and you capitulate the two together, what do you have? On a higher self level, you have this they're the best version of themselves. We have the magician, the guy who can just create whatever he wants, but only from the past, not of the future. Whereas Elon just goes to reach the highest potential, then he has to go all the way back down again. So when you put the two cards together, who is stronger? 45, because he can create his destiny up to a certain limitation. Elon has a limit, but he goes all the way back down. So the magician himself, has more power than Elon when it comes to spiritual advantage. When you go into the the Nine of Cups and the Nine of Pentacles, ironically, both of them have the number 9 here, but one of them is of Cups, one of them is of money, which is very interesting, but both are heading in the past section, which is really interesting because we have the aura, we have the spiritual, and then we have the higher self. Because this is represented as the spiritual, when you start to look at it from a different perspective, you start to see that, 45 has this perspective, he has all these achievements, but they're of the past, not the future. Whereas Elon, spiritually speaking, is losing money, losing influence. So what does this mean? It means that on a spiritual level, who they are as a spirit, they both lose. They are both losing in this aspect. When it comes to the aura, who they are as an individual, right, in terms of their energy and how they come off, you have 45 as the fighter, the dog fighter, which is represented also in the past, like this image that who he was, not who he is now, but who he was in the past, is represented as the seven of swords, which means he himself was a dog fighter, while Elon, who is he? A man of great wealth, great fortune. So in this aspect, what does this mean? It means that the image is overshadowed by the man of wealth. But together, they are a powerful combination because people still see 45 as this dog fighter, this fighter of the people. Whereas Elon is seen as somebody of money and great wealth and great fortune. And together, they are like the best combination. But remember, when you start to look at it from a different perspective, and you start to see the different layers of who they are, you start to see how actually weak they both are. And here you have it, the Knight of Cups reversed, and the Knight of Cups reversed is telling me here that going back to the past, not be able to complete something and just starting that cycle over. He's stuck in the past, specifically in terms of his amnesia or something, but he is not there mentally. Whereas Elon is also stuck in the past, but has to do with something in a different regard. He wants to be able to invent something, but he's not able to, and because of that, both of them are simultaneously stuck. They are basically two peas in a pod. Except one is slightly more powerful than the other, but nonetheless, they are both very stuck in their own ways. It's really sad to see, unfortunately, but that is just how it is. Now, if you want to go and watch my video on how I said that 45 and Elon end, we want to take a look at that again when we do a revisitation. But if you want to watch the video that I did on that in November of 2024, I will put the link to that video in the description below in case you are interested among other videos. Alright, so Spirits and Angels, tell me about Elon versus 45 and their relationship. How does it end? How does it end? How does the relationship between 45 and Elon end? I'm hearing the word breakup. So it's going to get messy, that's for sure. It feels like a relationship, like they themselves are in love, but in love with an idea. Maybe like a romance, who knows? We have the Knight of Wands. 45 is the one who leads Elon, not Elon is not the one to lead Elon is not the one to lead 45. 45 is the one to lead Elon. And here you have wishful thinking in reverse, which telling me this is something that's going to happen. And here you have the Page of Pentacles. Right? Alright, so let's take a look. Let's see what's going on here in terms of the energy. I want to actually take a look and see the fortune cookies. Because I have a feeling that there's a little bit more to the story than what we originally see. Because it is the year of the snake, the Chinese snake. So let's go ahead and take a look. Alright, so Spirits and Angels, tell me about Elon and Donald Trump's relationship. What is to be expected, Spirits and Angels, in terms of Elon and Donald Trump's relationship long term? How does it end? I keep seeing cards flip and I go look for it. Then it's gone. What's the relationship long term between Donald Trump and Elon? How does it end? Thank you. How does it end? Okay, and how does it end? Shit. 1 second. Whew. Okay, that never happened before. And final card. Bottom of the deck, we have here travel, the lack of ability to travel and communicate, right? Ability to advance. And here you have on top, it's nature. Interact with nature and outdoors around animals, farmlands, or by the ocean. This week good for you in the soul and healing. It's nature in reverse. Why is it important? It's important because it talks about how there is man versus nature, right? And both of them talked about travel, getting where, progress, man versus nature. Very interesting, right? It's about the instinct of man versus the instinct of the universe, right? What is to be expected, what is expected, right? Now, the card that comes in between the relationship between Elon and 45 is you have represented here as the 8 of Cups. And 8 of Cups is heading in the past, which means that there is already a fight that already occurred. It already happened in the past. Right? There is a fight here, but this is also the challenge to this whole reading. That is something that is a fight that has already happened that is going to reemerge between Elon and 45 in some way. There is some sort of reemergence of that. We also get the next card comes in as the Hierophant, the inability, unable to control the form of government, be able to do government effectively and be able to lead. These are two men who have no business being in government. And here you have the Chariot card, which means slowness and inability to work. I'm also seeing as well, there is a heart here, there's the square. It's telling me that it's bright, there's some sort of light that's inside the heart. But it feels like robotic. So there's something here that has to do with robots or has to do with AI or something, some sort of internal system. There's something internal here. It has to do with something with robots. It has to do something with something in relation to 45 and Elon that they disagreed upon when it comes to technology. Now, between the two, between the Hierophant and the Chariot card, we have the future. It has not yet happened. You may travel or host an overseas traveler soon. Either way, great social fun or ways. So this is telling me here that there is something in the future in terms of technology that both of them are aware of, but the public is not aware of what it is. That they already themselves travel somewhere. Remember how the travel card was reversed? That's very interesting because it summed up with travel in the future because they had not yet traveled already. Which means they're going to go back in the past because they haven't technically done time travel yet. Interesting. Because we also had the scientists, if you look it up, the scientists have just confirmed that time travel does indeed exist. Very interesting. Now underneath here we have the 8 of Swords, and the 8 of Swords is reversed. It's in reverse because there's a lack of constriction, there's a lack of an ability to feel constricted or to not be able to go forward in some way. Now between the Chariot card and the 8 of Swords, you have your opportunity. A stranger about to change your life, exciting time to plenty of action, but the special family reunion looks likely. This is opportunities. Opportunities await for them in the future. But it's going to be particularly relating to the lack of communication. So they are not going to be communicating about whatever this is. It says here, a reunion could bring love or rekindling of friendship, and a lucky win seems unlikely. Seems likely. But it says here, a special family reunion looks likely. Which means that they themselves are going to be in reunion with something, and it's going to be one that's not going to end well. It's going to be in some sort of fight or some sort of battle, something that's going to be very toxic here, some sort of revisitation for them that's going to revitalize something that they thought about in the past that just has been reemerged. I keep getting Ivanka and Ivana, both of them. So there's going to be something in relation to that. Now we do get here, well, we have the 9 of Swords, and the 9 of Swords is reversed, which means non-sleepless nights, right next to the 8 of Swords. I mean, they are very mentally okay. So this is not something that affects them mentally, but maybe affects the people around them in some way. And here you have the Wheel of Fortune changes. The Wheel of Fortune goes forward, not backward. So despite what they've been wanting to do in terms of technological advances, the future is forward. The future is not behind. So even if they go backwards, it's done. They can go forward and they can change it, but they cannot change what's behind. And underneath this Wheel of Fortune here, aided by the Queen of Pentacles, the Queen of Pentacles is talking about looking things at for what it is and for what it was. And this is the Queen of Pentacles. And it's further challenged by Love Light, which means affairs of the heart could cause future problems, but take heart as a difficult situation will be resolved by a good decision this week. This is love life. It's reversed. I keep getting indication here. I'm going to have to read on this another time. But I keep getting the idea and this understanding that there's a plausible and a possibility that Elon actually had an affair with Melania Trump. And because it is fighting, this could be something that could indicate the big blow up. There's a very big, nasty breakup that's about to occur, and it's in relation to a reunion of some sort. And here on the top of the card here, because I keep getting this image, underneath the 8 of swords and the 9 of swords, both reversed mentally. We never have the mentals, even though they're not in the moment, when it does strike, because the person's in denial about what they experience, once they start to realize it, they're going to have some sort of deep reflection. They need to have a reflection on their relationship and friendship. So there is something here that's coming that is going to be a massive breakup, a blow up between 45 and Elon. And it's going to be due to some sort of affair or something like that. And it's in regards to technology. And it's a whole bunch of things. It's not just going to be one specific thing. It feels like it's multiple things, but they're going to blame it on one thing, but really going to see the whole issue. If you look at it from a different perspective, you're going to see many issues that led to this, many red flags. Now, the bottom, top of the deck here, we have the Page of Cups, which means wishful thinking, something that's going to occur. We have the Page of Pentacles, which means opportunity, something changing. And here you have a victory, the 6 of Wands, followed by going back to the past of love. And here you have, but it's not going to be in the White House. So there's a past of love because of the betrayal. The bottom of the deck here, we have 45 is the one who ends things with Elon. Remember we talked about that earlier in the video. 45 is the one to end things with Elon, not the opposite way around. It's noted as the King of Wands, was followed by the 7 of Cups. She's going to be very emotional, very unable, very disillusioned, not able to make decisions clearly. However, Melania will keep her position for quite some time, and this is represented as the 9 of Pentacles. However, an ending is coming for the relationship between Melania and Trump, and I would not be surprised if she herself gets deported. Alright, so that is today's video. A lot of interesting stuff. Not what I expected, but interesting enough. Alright guys, let me know in the comment section below what you guys think of today's video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell icon. Until then, I'll see you all in the next video. Until then, love you.